I think you have the same pants as yours.
I noticed you staring at her butt.
Very similar pants that I might be wearing tomorrow. We'll take a picture.
There you go. Sara Dietschy, rhymes with peachy.
What's up, everyone?
Do you get sick of the peachy thing? I mean, I
No.
know you made it up, right?
Yeah. It's a great way for people to know how to pronounce my name.
Yeah, it
so
really
I
is.
embrace it.
But you got were you given the peach, the lighting up thingy, the jig sign?
The neon sign.
Yes.
So there's a really cool shop in Soho, like 2 blocks away from my office, and I pass them every day on my way to the subway, and I kept peeping in, like, oh my god, I need a neon sign. Mm-hmm. So I was basically like, listen, I make awesome videos. I can make you a video. How about you make me a neon peach?
Wait, please tell me that's exactly the words you use.
Honestly, in the email, it's pretty verbatim. So yeah, it's Sara Dietschy, rhymes peachy.
Do you get a lot of like peach things, like mementos?
Yeah, and I fully embraced it. And what's
That's
so
awesome.
funny is, do you know who Ted Forbes is?
Yes.
Awesome channel, Art of Photography. Check them out. So he was one of the first YouTubers I ever collabed with, actually.
Okay.
And I was at like 3,000 subscribers, and he was kind enough to like collab with me. And the video that we did, his title of his video was Rhymes with Peachy.
Oh.
And I was like, this is interesting. I've always said sounds like peachy, but I've never heard rhymes with peachy. And like from there on out, he made my little tag. So shout out to Ted Forbes.
And collabs, you get good things out of collabs.
Exactly. You can use them for their knowledge. So
I love it. So I want to dig into not what your topic is about here at Vid Summit, but more about you being a woman in tech.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've spent the last 12 years in the tech online video space, and it's a tough place to be. It's also an awesome place to be. So I want to actually cover the pros and the cons and kind of get your thoughts surrounding being a woman in tech. You're also very young. Well, not like, that wasn't a diss.
Well, yeah.
It really wasn't a diss.
24.
Yeah.
24, yeah.
I am old now. What just happened? What just happened to me?
Not at all.
But yeah, so, you know, you're young, you're a woman, and does it feel like a daily difficult thing, or do you find it mostly awesome?
I would say right now, I don't think there's a better time to be a woman in tech or entrepreneurship, because I think there's now a consciousness of people that are like, oh, I see something wrong with this. Why aren't there more women CEOs? Why aren't there more women YouTubers? And there's people out there that I think are actually taking conscious steps to like embrace the women who are in it, but also, you know, something that I am super passionate about is if I could just be a role model for, you know, girls who want to get into it. I mean, that's amazing. That'd be so cool, because I looked up to iJustine when I was doing it. I was like, oh my gosh, iJustine, there's no other women who are doing what she's doing. And it's really, honestly, I thought by now there would be still more.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
It's a very select, and then there was actually a time
slow.
when a bunch of women dropped out of the tech online video space, and then you
and that's
then
probably
you
the
came in,
downside,
and then,
right? Because
exactly.
I think with that comes criticism that men don't really have to handle, you know. And there's a lot, you know, there's the classic trolls that are like, get back in the kitchen, like, you don't pay attention to them.
Right.
But like when it gets to very serious threats, I mean, that is a thing online, or just maybe a lack of respect or not giving you any credit where credit is due. You know, that does come into play. But right now, I think if you are a woman in creativity or tech at all, it's like embrace it and just go for it.
But
you know?
should you use it? Right? Like there's almost a point where it's like, is there?
Well, you have to be true to yourself, right? I mean, if you are someone who like embraces. So when you say like use it, I think like using like your sexuality.
No,
and, like,
actually,
like,
I mean like yeah, that's a great that's a great clarification.
Yeah.
So I think that there's almost an overstep of the boundary where some people are like, well, we only want women on tech, or
Right.
I want you
on
on stage because you're
Right.
a woman,
Right. Yeah.
So
Totally.
like, should you use that, or should should it be
so
a
I
low-key
think
thing?
okay, that's actually a good question. So, conference people, event people, listen up. I think where we will reach like full awesomeness is like, don't have a women in tech panel. Have a panel about tech and just make sure half of them are women, or 40% of them are women, like 50%, or just like it's a diverse crowd of people, not just women, but race and everything else. And I think if you have power, you have a really unique opportunity to include those people with different perspectives and to just include them in the narrative. You don't have to be like, I think there's times and places for specifically, like the Wing. They're a women's only workspace, co-working space that is really flourishing right now, which I think is awesome because since the dawn of time, men have had like clubs and all of that where they just go hang out and be bros, right? So that's really cool that like women like are finding community in that.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think that you have to have all of these like women in blah blah blah, women in blah blah, like panels, blah blah blah. It's good, but I think where the real progress happens is when you have everyone in one room and you're discussing and raising awareness about everything. So,
Yes. So you're open about where you office out of, and you're in New York, right?
New
and so
York.
there's a lot
Best
of
city ever. I love it.
There's a lot of scariness when it comes to New York. Not really, but like there's that thing that exists. And you talked about the subway. Sounds like you take the subway a lot. Do you ever, because you're very visible and you're open about where you are, do you ever get shy about holding back information?
So I think recently I've I have tried to like daily vlog and vlog a lot and vlog
You
my
did
life.
like a
and
daily for like a week, right?
I honestly,
Recently?
recently I did, and that was fun. But that was like more planned. There was a span for like 6 to 9 to maybe even a year, not 6 to 9 months, maybe a year. I actually properly daily vlogged, but I very quickly figured out this was so not for me. And I saw at that same time like a lot of just relationships and a lot of things being just exploited for a vlog. And I very consciously was like, I don't want to be a part of that. And so now, I mean, I post a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's, I recently posted 5 videos in 1 week. Woo, that was amazing for me. But usually I only post like 2 videos a week, and I'm very conscious with what I put in and don't put in.
Yeah.
I love having a boyfriend who's also a YouTuber,
Right.
But at the same time, I don't use him for the sake of content.
Yeah.
So we're
I noticed
able
it's
to.
very.
It's varying, yeah. And so if we're really excited about an idea or doing something, we're gonna do it because like why not? That's what's so fun about both being YouTubers and content creators, but I think you have to be very conscious with that. And luckily in New York, I mean, I live and work in Manhattan, and there's always so many people everywhere that I think there's a certain comfort to having a lot of people around you, I feel like. So yeah.
Okay.
I gotta say,
So
I use John for content.
He's great.
He's got amazing teeth. That guy has amazing teeth. He does.
He's great. He's very handsome. And his teeth are great.
Amazing teeth. That's what
Great
you want in a boyfriend, right?
soundbite.
Or a
Yeah.
content creator. So we were talking about the fact that you were in a band.
Yes.
Tell us
Music.
about- do people know that?
I mean, I drop it sometimes.
Sometimes.
Maybe it's out of just like sadness that I'm not in like a rock band and I'm not touring right now, and it's so sad that I didn't make it my
Opening
music
prayer.
career. Yeah, I thought at one point I was like, I'm gonna be the guitar player of Taylor Swift or something like that.
Oh, big dreams.
I know, and they were just crushed.
Oh,
Just
Taylor.
kidding. I saw video.
Taylor, she's a big deal now.
Come
you should
on,
maybe.
Taylor. So yeah, I mean, I love music, and I'm so obsessed with it still, and I think that's why I really fell in love with video. Is a lot of my friends were photographers and
Yeah.
stuff, But I was like, I never found a connection with photography like I did with video, because video was so cool. It was like, oh, I get to take images and cool music and put them together and make people feel stuff. And I think that's where it began, and that's actually how I really fell in love with video was, I was in a band, my band needed music videos, and like we did cover videos, and I was the person to make them. And so that's really it helped me fall in love with video and realize, oh, this is it's more practical too. So it worked out that I loved it, but it also worked out in that if you do video stuff, you're going to be fine finding a job. Like, even if you don't want to be a YouTuber, so many people need cinematographers, videographers, event videography. You're good. Yeah. You know, it's like if you know how to work camera, if you know how to edit, you're good. Yeah.
So coming back to the music itself, favorite musician right now?
Oh man, that's a good question.
It's hard.
I would say
I would hate if somebody asked me that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say all-time fave musician has to be John Mayer. I think he's like, people see him as this like, oh, Body in Wonderland guy, but he's such a incredibly good musician. Talented. Yeah, he's so talented, and like his inspirations are all of the classics, like Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, all those people. So like you get to see or like learn through him from the inspirations of like the legends, but then you get his like cool modern twist on it, which I think is so cool. And I actually made fun of, I'm so sorry Patrick, I made fun of my cousin for going to the Where the Light Is live in LA show. Like he got to go to that show. And I was making fun of him because I was like, oh, John Mayer, this is when I was into my emo rock stuff. I was like, John Mayer's a sellout. He's like a corporate shill. Like, he makes all those hits. But then later on, when I was getting more into guitar, like, I lived and breathed by that album. So there's more than,
there you go.
What you are on,
of course,
on the mainstream stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Mainstream for a reason, and then there's unique for a reason,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
All right, last question.
Yes.
Guilty pleasure while you're traveling, because you travel.
Okay,
so
maybe it's not a pleasure, but it's something that I feel guilty about. Is like I will be in my hotel room for hours and hours editing. I mean, like today, I have work to do, and like this is where you should be socializing, mingling. Yeah. But this is like only the second time I've left my hotel room today.
Wow. So. Did you go out to eat or no?
No. I got room service this morning. I just stayed in. I worked.
The editing.
So you still edit all your videos?
Yeah, I need to find help. Like I'm dying. Someone who wants to edit for me.
I think that we can find some help. All right, he quits. Well, we just lost our videographer.
Yes. So yeah.
Editor. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'll take you.
Man, you guys are gonna see me rub donuts on my face.
I was thinking I was funny, but David watching, he's like, no, like you came across as kind of a dick.
Great to meet you. Great to meet you.
Hopefully I win the challenge.